Hey TikTok, so my name is Peyton and I was a trans child. I don't really ever talk about this because most people who've known me longer than 10 years actually met me as that, so I don't really have to go into that because they pretty much lived it with me. I socially transitioned at the age of 13 and planned on getting on hormones when I was 16. I was a child who was chronically online. I was known in the writing community. I was a best-selling author for 10 years. I was in the gaming community and pretty much known there. And the one thing that I was always told was that I had to transition and I had to pretty much alter my body. I was constantly told, well, if your parents love you, they'll let you. I only realized when I was in my early 20s that it was because that they loved me that they didn't let me. Because that wasn't what was wrong with me. It wasn't even close to what was wrong with me. When I was 13 years old and all this was kind of going on in my life, I was in circles with people that were a lot older than me. All of them were women. As I've gotten older, I've had to really cope and deal with the trauma because of women, honestly. Now, while I don't believe that every single one of them had nefarious reasons, it does kind of pinpoint in my own head of when I started walking away from those relationships and I kind of seen the reaction to, hey, this isn't really what's wrong with me and I don't think that this is what I am. When people talk about children being kind of led to this lifestyle, there is a point behind it that's very valid because it's my experience entirely. Every single person that I knew back then was above the age of 30 that was in my ear telling me that this is what's wrong with me and this is what I need to do. And it was like I was being forced to, like there was no conversation about it. There was no, well, maybe you're not this. It was this is what's wrong with you and you have to do this to survive or you're going to end up unaliving yourself one day. And that's exactly what several of them told me. It was forced in me to want to change my body. It was forced into me to want to change every single thing about myself rather than being taught to love myself as exactly who I was and even am now, which is still a constant struggle in my life of, well, maybe this is why and maybe that's why. And it genuinely ruined my mental health for honestly about 10 years of my life. There was never a reality for me of I'm never going to be that. It was always a, hey Peyton, you're this and there's nothing you can do about it. I've even spoken about this topic before and got canceled for it, but we talk so much about transitioning, but we don't listen to the people like me who either almost went through it or did completely and now regret it and are left with life-altering decisions that are irreversible. And it's truly because of those women that I have so much trauma with that, because I seen a quote a few years ago that said, all I wanted was sisterhood and all I got was poison in return.